Good morning, students. This is a continuation video of the previous video topic execution of a complete instruction. As we discussed in the previous video, the execution of a complete instruction has two phases. One is a fetch phase and second is an execution phase. So as we discussed in the previous video, the first three steps are going to be coming under the fetch phase and the remaining four steps from step 4 to step 7 are going to be coming under the execution phase. So how it's going to be get fetch the data and how it's going to execute the data with all the complete instructions. Let us see in this particular video. So the first step, which constitutes the particular fetch cycle, here the instruction fetch operation is going to be initiated by loading the particular content to the program counter into the memory address register. So the memory address register, which is going to send a request signal to the memory. As we are going to take the step 1, PC out, the program counter, which is going to load the content into the memory address register. The memory address register taking the data from the program counter and which is going to send a read signal. So the read signal request is going to be given to a memory. So that during that time what happened, it's going to select a 4-bit data and which is going to be given to an ALU. So this ALU is going to take the particular data and it's going to do the operation of add and which is going to insert the data into the Z temporary register of this particular processor. So the program counter outputs the data through the bus to the memory address register. The memory address register is going to take the input from the program counter and which is going to give the request to the external memory through the address line, and it's going to select the constant 4 data and that is going to be placed in the mux, and this mux is going to be selected by the constant 4 data with the select pin, and this value is going to be added to the operand B through the input A of the ALU, and the program counter value which is going to be placed over there, which is going to be get incremented, and that ALU data will be get stored in the register Z. That is going to be the first step. In the step 2, what happened? The updated value in the Z, which is going to be moved to the program counter, and this completes the program counter increment operation, and now program counter will now point to the next instruction. So the step 3 which is going to be there now, step 2 is Z out is going to be giving information that the operation has been over and the program counter is going to be get incremented. Then it's going to take another input in the Y. So after this program counter is going to be updated, this is going to take the control signal and loads another data into the Y register. And this Y register, after doing this register, it's the operation of the processor is going to wait for a memory function complete instruction. Okay, WMFC is going to be there. So it's going to wait for the memory function complete instruction. That is going to be the second step. And move on to the third step. The fetch instruction is going to be moved into the MDR, nothing but the data which have been fetched from the memory, that is going to be moved through the data line to the MDR, nothing but memory data register, and then this is going to be moved to the instruction register. At the beginning of the step 4, what happens? The instruction decoder interrupts, nothing but the instruction decoder and the control logic is going to be there, which is going to interrupt the content of the IR, and this enables the control circuitry to activate the signals from the step 4 to step 7. Such a way it's going to be doing its operation. So this is going to be called as a operation of fetch cycle of the first 3 instructions. Let us see about the step 4 to step 7, which constitutes an execute phase. Let us discuss about the step 4. In the step 4, what happened? The control register which have been taken and register R3, correct? So the content of the R3 are loaded into the memory. The content of the R3 may be in between this R0 to Rn-1. Any one of the registers is going to be there R3. From this, the content will be stored from this register to the control bus, and that is going to be taken into the MAR register. So the address which is going to be lying in the register R3 will be placed on the control bus, and this control, the processor bus, is going to take the data into the memory address register, and a memory signal, a memory read signal is going to be issued from the MAR through the address line to the memory bus. So this is going to be the Step 4. Then what happened? The content of the register R1, the content of the register R1, nothing but the register R1 is going to be there. Now that is going to be read, the content of the register R1, that is going to be taken over there from the register, which is going to be placed on the processor bus. The content of the register R1 is going to be transferred to the Y to prepare for the next addition operation, nothing but addition operation. So that is going to be taken over here into the register Y. Through Y, it's going to be inserted into the mux. Then after that, what happened? It's going to wait for the memory control has to be get completed. Now, so to fetch the data for this, for the operation of add operation, that is going to be waiting over there. Then the data which is going to be fetched in the step 3, what happened? Sorry, step 6, what happened? When read operation is going to be completed, the memory operand is available in the MDR. From the memory to the data line, it's going to be entered into MDR, memory data register, and through this it's going to be inserted into the Y. Then the addition operation is going to be get performed over this. Select Y, so Y is going to be get selected over here, and add operation is going to be get operated over there. So that what happened, addition operation is going to be get performed. Then step 7, the result is going to be stored in the Z, and that is going to be moved into Rin. Then the process is going to be get ended. So that what happened, after completion of the addition operation A plus B, then the output is going to be given into Z out. The Z data out is going to be given to the processor through the processor bus, that will be stored in the register R1, and it's going to wind up its function. Such a way, the end signal causes a new instruction fetch cycle to begin by returning the step from 1 to 7 for the next instruction. Such a way, it's going to doing its operation. That is going to be the complete instruction execution. So let us discuss about few examples of execution of a complete instruction. Let's discuss about an example of a complete instruction execution with a few more examples. So here, write the control sequence to execute add a number, an immediate addressing comma register R1. Let us see how this control sequence is going to be there for the particular immediate addressing to add the content of the immediate addressing with the register R1. So the steps are going to be given over there. So immediately, first what we have to do, we have to initialize the program counter, and the program counter transfers the data into a memory address register. It is going to give a read instruction to the memory and selects the value for the addition operation, and output will be inserted into the temporary register ZIN. Then the second step, what happens, the Z out is going to give an instruction to program counter that the operation has been over. Then it is going to take the next instruction data, nothing but data B has to be get inserted through the Y. Then it's going to give a data register. The memory will be fetched from the data, and that is going to be loaded in the data register, memory data register. Until that memory function completes has to be given from the memory. So we have to wait, signal will be given and need to wait for that. Once the data will be completed, the memory function complete is going to be given the signal. Then in the step 3, the data is going to be loaded into the register, and through that data register, it's going to be loading the data into the instruction register. Then the step 4, the number which have been present in the instruction register is going to move the content through the Y in. Then we have to select Y input in the multiplexer. So step 6 selects the Y input in the multiplexer, and that is going to be producing an output from the register R1, and that is going to do a function of add, and in this ALU the data is going to be get added and the output will be produced into the temporary register Z. So that the next step, the Z is going to be producing an output to the register R1 through the internal processor bus, and finally it's going to give the end signal, indicating that the end signal causes a new instruction fetch to begin the beginning the next instruction by returning to the step 1. Such a way it's going to do the process. This is an example of a control sequence to execute and add an immediate comma register R1. Let us see one more example. Write the sequence number sequence to execute add number comma R1. In a different way, how we can do this one. This is a next example. And this is going to be another example. So a different way we are going to initialize this program and we can do the operations. Let us discuss about the next topic, execution of branch instruction. A branch instruction replaces the content of the program counter with the branch target address. This address is usually obtained by adding an offset value x, which is given in the branch instruction to update the program counter value. So in this program counter value, which is going to be get updated over there. So here the branch target address is an offset value x is usually the difference between the branch target address and the address immediately following the branch instruction. And in case of a conditional branch, what happens? We have to check the status of the condition code before loading the content. A new value is going to be inserted into the program counter. That is going to be happen over there. Let us discuss about a particular execution of branch instruction with an example. So here, as like we have seen in the previous videos, execution of a sequence of control instructions, here also the first three steps are going to constitute the fetch cycle. As the first instruction, which is going to be the first step, which is going to be the instruction fetch of always which is going to be initiated by the program counter to load the content of the program counter into the memory address register. So which is going to send an read signal to the memory through the address line, and it's going to select the data, select 4, and which is going to add the data and producing an output to the Z in, nothing but temporary register in. The step 2, what happened? The same way, it's going to update the value in the Z is moved to the program counter. So Z out, which is going to move to the program counter in. This completes the program counter increment operation, and the program counter now will point out to the next instruction. Okay, then the step 3, which is going to be producing at the beginning of the step, so the fetching the data, and which is going to be moved into the MDR register, and then it's going to move to the IR register in. As already we have seen about that, the first 3 instructions are going to be an fetch cycle. Then the 4th instruction is going to start with the execution phase. Here, the offset value is extracted from the IR, from the instruction register, by the instruction decoding circuit, which will also perform and sign extension if required. Since the value of the updated program counter is already available in the register Y, the offset X is gated out the bus in the step 4. And the addition operation is going to be performed and is going to be output on producing an output to the Z register. And finally, the result, which is going to be branch target address, is going to be loaded into the program counter. That is nothing but the Z out data is going to be loaded into the program counter. This data is nothing but a branch target address, and it's going to say that the completion of the instruction with the help of the end signal. Such a way, the control sequence for an unconditional branch instruction is going to be get performed. Let us have a small example. An offset field of IR out, comma add, comma Z in. If n is equal to 0, then end. This is a condition which have been given over there. If n is equal to 0, then end. If n is not 0, what has to be done over there? Let us see about that. If n is equal to 0, the processor returns to step 1 immediately after the step 4. If n is not 0, if n is equal to 1, then it's going to produce the next step. There is nothing but it's going to process the step 5, which is going to be performed to load a new value into the program counter, thus performing the branch operation. This is then actual execution of a branch operation, branch instruction operation.